welcome. We're live from Xi'an, China for the World Cyber Games 2019.
No, they're all on the cliff.
In the meanwhile, we've got Trace hiding in the back. He's going to be able to pick up the double kill.
Lich in trouble, he comes to Storm. Oh no, Carly was used defensively, trying to save the no!
Oh no, they're not going to be able to do it!
Look at that! He's going to end the game on the core, and we see on the core, and that's going to be game!
Hey, and welcome back to the World Cyber Games. I'm Rich Sweat, and that's Andrew. Guys, it's really hot in here, and we have a hot match coming your way right now. LGD facing off against Immortals.
Yeah, this is honestly more of a pride match than anything else right now, as CRL West and CRL Asia have both secured the knockout stage tomorrow, which Rich and I will be casting all 3 matches, and we cannot wait. But again, a lot of pride on the line today.
Yeah, a lot of pride on the line, and of course, for this China team, AUK, I know wants to come out big and swing and get some important victories, and a win over Royal in this opening 1v1 set would be huge for the squad's confidence.
Yeah, and you know, I know that it is essentially an exhibition at this point, but Royal needs to build his confidence moving forward, Rich. Tomorrow is a very, very big day, and he's going up against a guy who played 86 games this season at a 56% win rate.
So the big question, Andrew, for this Immortals team is about deck selection, right? They don't want to expose and run too many of their decks they're planning for tomorrow, so we'll see what they go with. I'm expecting that we'll see Royal run a lot of stuff we've already watched him play here before.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, and I don't know if there'll be any actual quote-unquote troll decks, Rich. I'd be a bit surprised. As I said, I really think Royal needs to get a win here, and you see a Golem coming out right away. So he's going comfortable, and he's going hard in the left-hand lane.
High and aggressive from Royal, an immediate balloon in the opposite lane, so we'll see if Royal can handle that balloon on the right-hand side. NATO by AUK to reset that attack on the left.
And he may NATO it to King. There it is right there. You saw the offensive NATO, or the defensive NATO from both sides, and that is a very nice exchange for the Romanian.
Baby Dragon behind, so this left-hand tower in a lot of trouble now. Of course, Royal has taken some significant damage, both on the right-hand side and on his king, but this should be tower down here on the left.
Yeah, that is a very, very nice opening blow from the Immortals representative. Again, we knew the NATO was coming in to bring that balloon to King Tower. I'm sure AUK knew it was as well, but you still got to keep the pressure up.
AUK doing his first season here with LGD, of course, on that Team Nova World Championship squad from last year, leaving Nova to go with LGD this season out. They had a good win rate overall at 56%. 59% in head-to-head play, Andrew.
So we've got 4 bomb drops already so far from AUK, who's sitting with a tower down. Royal in a very good position with only 1 minute left. There's no reason for him to golem up again, Rich. It's just conserve your elixir to play stout defense, and then if you're able to, maybe drop a golem in the pocket if you have a very strong counter push.
Here we go, final 45 seconds of double elixir time. Nightwitch comes down to make sure that he pulls that Lumberjack to the inside. Ice with the balloon. Freeze comes in, a bit of a surprise.
There's the late NATO. Goblin Cage pops in the very last second, but the balloon does not connect. Perfect defense from Immortals so far.
So a late freeze from AUK, not quite able to get him back into the mix at this stage with 20 seconds left. Unless he does something wild in this moment, it's going to be game number 1 for Royal and Immortals. And NATO inside puts the nail in the coffin. Royal taking game number 1 in decisive fashion.
And you know what, Rich? I love the deck selection here. I love that he went comfortable. I love that he is now building the momentum leading into tomorrow. Again, the teams have been secured for the knockout round. However, the confidence of the individuals has not.
And I really just want to see Royal play Golem.
I know.
Just play Golem, play Golem, play Golem. A lot to learn. And even with that aggressive high Golem early, you saw getting the tower down, handling defense well. And people will go, well, Royal playing Golem that high, that early, what are you doing? Well, he knew he had the NATO, knew he had the defensive tools in hand, and knew how to use them.
Exactly. Now, we saw that happen to Royal in his first match where he played a high Golem, and it did not pay off. This time, I believe it was a little bit more of a calculated move than we saw early on. I don't know if early it was nerves. Royal's not really a guy that gets too anxious on the stage, but you know, this was actually perfect from him today.
Yeah, you gotta love watching the best people with certain decks play that. So I'm hoping we get to see 2 more Golem games from Royal, and then also situation that we're in, I hope that we get to see Lapacati at the end of today's match come out and play some Mortar.
Yeah, you know, and one thing that I am expecting is that if every set starts off 2-0 for Immortals, the third deck will be something spicy and different. It's a great place to try it out, knowing that there's not a lot on the line.
Very interesting bans today in this match as well. A minor ban from AUK and a poison ban from Royal. The minor ban from AUK, remember, these bans were set before the finals were decided already.
Yes.
So this was a truly competitive ban choice that he made, and I'm wondering what's behind that for the LGD player.
Yeah, that is the only one that I don't really understand. The poison makes sense. You get all those units building up behind a golem. You know, you take out the Night Witch, you take out the bats. It's very, very effective. However, the minor ban is a big question mark for me. Royal doesn't really run a ton of minor, and if he were to, you know, he's got a decent enough sized deck pool to where a minor ban wouldn't really affect him a lot.
Yeah, so maybe we'll find out, although I'm expecting to see Royal go back to the big hunk of rock one more time. Let's get into game number 2. AUK does play a lot of Mortar Hog and a lot of P.E.K.K.A. Ram Rider, so you know, maybe this ban was more about just making sure something that countered him didn't come into play. Yeah,
that's a good point. Royal here, maybe like you said, playing Golem once again, holding on, leaking Elixir. AU doing the same thing. Royal is the better beatdown player, though.
The MVP from CRL China in the fall of 2018. Kind of a surprise move, leaving Nova Esports, but still made it to the top 3 with LGD.
Yeah, Nova Esports today had a nice showing, but still fell a little bit short on what they wanted to accomplish. And earlier on in the weekend, it was a bit of a surprise to see Nova fall the way that they did.
Yeah, it was pretty wild, but it speaks both to the strength of the CRL West and Asian regions, and to maybe some of the overconfidence from Nova.
That is a very, very good point. CRL West is much more competitive than it was last season. It's a higher class of player than, and that's no slight on the teams last year. It's just when you consolidate, that's exactly what happens.
So, you know, Andrew, we mentioned some of Royal's challenges this season, but even despite those head-to-head challenges, some major wins over Jay Monty, Henenkava, Oxalate, Vulcan, Javi 14, not to mention that 3-game King of the Hill sweep he put on Complexity during the playoffs.
Yeah, that is incredibly impressive. Taking down people like Vulcan, like Javi 14, that is not an easy feat no matter what day of the week it is, what week in playoffs, or excuse me, what week in the season it is, whether it's playoffs or regular.
So here we go, entering the double elixir time, and we're about to find out what's actually happened. And Royal opens up Dark Prince behind King Tower, same for his opponent from LGD.
So it looks like Royal and AUK are both wanting that. Oh, never mind. So Royal looking like he's running that graveyard deck. AUK maybe running the same thing.
Wow, all right. So we will see who can make better use of that Giant Skeleton Dado combination. And first shot there, coming out from Royal.
Yeah, very, very well played there from Royal. He's going to get a nice push on both sides. Right now, the Baby Dragon is going to tank for the Graveyard, and then the Skellies were going to tank for the Ice Lizard. I love that series of events from the Romanian.
Now an interesting shift here from Royal, throwing Freeze into this deck.
Yeah. It's always great to surprise your opponent, and that is exactly what just happened to AUK, now down to 12-27 on his top right.
You know, if Royal can just throw that Freeze over here on our desk, I would really appreciate it.
I don't know if I've ever agreed with anything you've said more in our entire career together, Rich. And the Freeze comes in on both sides. Royal will win the race.
There you have it. Royal taking game number 2, now out to a decisive lead in this opening set.
So with that being said, now that they have 2 in the hand in set number 1, I think Royal's going to bring out something crazy. I really do. There's no reason to burn through your deck pool. I think that's the correct choice.
I'm going to go with Minor Wall Breakers Goblin Cage, Andrew. It's a whole lot of fun. You pull off some crazy moves, and I've been talking about to these guys all week.
Oh, let me guess, Rich, you've been running that.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. It's kind of fun. It might be a little toxic, but I enjoy it.
I'll admit, it does look like a lot of fun. I mean, hey, why not? You're a very convincing man, Rich. Maybe Royal will bring it out in this third game.
We'll see what happens. You know, you got to think that AUK got to be a little frustrated now. 0-2, has not had the showing he really wanted to have here at the World Cyber Games, and got to be wondering in a lot of different ways whether the change in team has kind of hurt his ability.
Yeah.
The change in practice partners in particular. He was practicing every single day with the best in China, and no slight to the rest of his squad at LGD.
Right.
But LCOP's a very different practice partner. Little Chen's a very different practice partner than the guys he's with right now.
Could not agree more. Little Chen played absolutely masterful Clash Royale today. Now, Diego B came out on top, which was so impressive. I'm so happy for Diego B. That was one of those things, one of those moments. He's been put in two very, very high pressure situations, and he's come out on top, which has been absolutely astounding for Team Liquid.
Yeah, very, very nice work, of course, early on from Team Liquid. And the big news, of course, today is that the West is going through. We're still waiting to hear what the matchups will be for tomorrow. So as soon as we have that information, I believe it'll be making its way out into the socials. I don't know what time it is, wherever you're watching. It's 5 in the morning or 9 in the morning.
Something
or
like that.
Whatever's going on. So maybe with your breakfast and your morning coffee, you'll find out the matchups for our finals. But for now, we're back into Game 3, Royal versus LGD's AUK.
And a little bit of insider baseball here. I heard that Trainer Luis wants Ponos again.
Everyone wants Ponos.
Everyone
Eric was
wants
saying
Ponos.
the same thing.
Yep.
Everyone wants a piece of Ponos tomorrow. So we'll see how that shakes out. But right now, one more game between Royal and AUK. Royal going Goblin Cage, AUK going with the Furnace. And you know what? 2 cards so far. Royal might be playing. No, he's not doing it. Darn it.
Almost, Rich.
Almost.
So Goblin Cage, Night Witch. Will we see a Golem? Will we see a Giant? There's the Golem once again. I love it.
Hello, Golem. First minute away. No blood drawn yet, but a good chance here for Royal to take the first one. Nice lightning value there from AUK.
Very good lightning from AUK. That Golem will burst on the towers, so some nice damage coming in for Royal.
Royal gave a lot of value to a big spell behind that Golem very early. He actually gave me some tips on Golem, and one of them he said was, don't give too much value behind your Golem, especially if you don't have the big spell yet. And there we saw exactly why.
Yeah, so maybe playing a little bit more loose because he knows that he's already got the set in hand here. AUK probably going to bust out what I would think is either a Royal Giant or, I think it's going to be Royal Giant. It could be Graveyard, but most likely Royal Giant.
I'm just wondering, Andrew, when's the first time we'll see Heal played at this level? And my guess is not.
Although we might be able to convince OP Sam to try it out again. He had success with it last season.
Yeah, that's the one guy who'll make it happen.
It's the one guy that used that spell in all 2 seasons of CRL.
Yeah, that's true. That's absolutely true. Baby Dragon behind for Royal. Battle the left-hand side of the bridge, and AUK loading up on spawners, feeling more and more like that Royal Giant deck. Yeah,
100% going to be Royal Giant. Now, we did see the Mega Knight come into a deck like this, but that was because the Royal Giant was banned.
High Swiss Brawler doing a fine job collecting the lane on the left-hand side, dealing with this onslaught of Spirit Goblins and Fire Spirits. And again, Royal goes Golem a little bit high.
And here's the thing, Rich, is, again, with things being decided for tomorrow, this is a great time to get practice in against a team that you might be seeing at World Finals at the end of the year. These are the best in every single region. Why not get practice in with the best?
Golem breaks before crossing and does get to that Furnace, but a lot coming back in the opposite direction now.
Very, very nice defense there from AUK.
And a lot of patience there for Royal, not kind of panicking and pulling that NATO button.
You see right now AUK trying to split the attention of Royal. 8 Elixir in hand, maybe a high Golem. There it is. Going to pull the Prince over. Very, very nicely played.
And it's Goblin Giant, so very interesting deck choice here from AUK, and now we see the Defensive NATO come out from Royal.
Oh, and that NATO Goblin Cage combo worked out perfectly.
Still, though, it is AUK ahead as we're moving into sudden death overtime, and it's not by an insignificant amount. Some good pressure on both lanes for the Chinese player.
Royal doing a very good job of managing all the units on the field. That can be the hardest part with playing against spawners, is all of a sudden you pay attention to one lane for a little bit too long and you look over and your tower's way, way down in a dangerous zone. AUK happy to keep switching up lanes.
And that Prince is going to go over towards the Ice Wiz very, very nicely. Lightning again. NATO comes in, but that's going to be a little bit too late. This should be, it could be a tower down.
And this is exactly what we're talking about. He paid too much attention to the left. Look at the right. Both sides getting overwhelmed. Royal throws out a little bit of a left there, knowing that it doesn't really matter to him, but he would have liked to have that 3-game sweep.
So there you have it, 2-1 for Royal. Golem gets the win one time, Golem gets the loss one time.
Yep.
AUK with a good showing there at the end, but like we said before, it is essentially a showcase match at this point.
And you and I know Crap and the God RF very well, and they did not play to their best in that 2v2 set against Pono, so I'm assuming that they're going to come out swinging.
Yeah, I think they're going to have a lot of fun too. They do enjoy kind of putting some crazy decks on people. We saw last year they attempted a sort of a double 2.9. We've seen double Hog Rider today work with varied success. So
that was a very interesting deck.
Yeah, it was certainly fascinating.
Yeah.
So we'll see what AC and RF have in store for their opponents, but at the moment a 2-1 lead or a 1-set lead overall for Immortals. And I know that they really want to get a big one here. The win here, again, you feel like it doesn't matter, but a win here would be big going into tomorrow.
Yes.
Just, part of it also is they've had a little bit of difficulty practicing in terms of getting some of their connection issues together. So hoping that they maybe can use this as that tune-up match.
And they are still deciding on the exact format on how the teams and who the teams are going to be playing against tomorrow. Maybe sets come into play. We're not sure yet, but it is something to keep in mind.
We'll be back in just a few minutes with 2v2. Don't go anywhere.